Chat and Scratch. Ooh, I've won £2.
Hey everyone, Big Pauly back for another little episode of Chat and Scratch. That's right, where we have a little natter. I'll tell you all the shit that's going on, and we scratch off a card or two. And today I've only got one card. What's this bloke doing? Get away from my car, you muppet. Yes, but it's Snow Me the Money. So we're just doing the one scratch off today. So what's going on so far as myself? Well, yes, it's cold. Let's take that off for a little while. It is cold. This morning I was 3 hours late getting into work. Some bloody lorry decided to have a crash, take a lamppost with it, and I was stuck stationary in some traffic for about 2.5 hours. There was a plus side though. I managed to see a couple of Netflix shows while I was sitting in the warm car. But yes, I managed to get to work, thankfully. So hopefully sometime before the weekend I might be popping off to the cinema, possibly to see Robin Hood with Taron Egerton or Egerton. So yes, looking forward to seeing that with Jamie Foxx as well, seeing what all that's about. Looks a bit weird, looks a bit of a weird Robin Hood take, but we'll see what that's like. Group buys. Right, where do we begin with the group buys? Well, HMV are pissing me off at the moment. We'll put it that way. Many of you will know the shit that's been happening with getting the Pacific Rim steelbooks. And we thought this just an isolated incident, and you know, they lost the package or the parcel. And there seems to be some kind of delay with the Fallen Kingdom steelbooks now. And I got an email from HMV. It's kind of a similar email to one I got from them several times, 2 or 3 times before with my Pure card. Because in the old days with the group buys, I just used to go to the shops. I never did it online. So I would go to one HMV store, pick up 20 or 30 copies, go to another store, pick up another 20 or 30 copies. So I ended up having about 100 copies of one steelbook from like 4 or 5 different stores around the southeast part of the country, southeast Kent. And it never used to be a problem. That never used to be a problem, and it never used to be a problem on the actual website doing the group buys. But recently, I don't know if it's some kind of new management rule or they've been reviewing what's, you know, practices and what shit's been going on. But they've been looking at orders, big bulk orders, and kind of like, this is very curious. I mean, when I place my large orders on HMV, I don't order like 50 copies. I order like 5 copies and do multiple orders. That way we keep them, just because you can only order 5 or 6 copies, you know, per order. And I did receive an email from them, or several emails from them last year, when I used to use my Pure Point card as well, you know, the discount card. And it was, you know, they cancelled my card 3 times, my Pure card, last year and the year before. And they stated on these letters, on this date you purchased 30 copies of this, you purchased 27 copies of this, and then they went into some detail about, we believe you're not using it for personal use, and as such we are cancelling your card. You know, then they went into a whole spew about, look at the terms and conditions of using Pure HMV, you're not allowed to use it for monetary purposes or resell. They probably thought I was buying them all to sell on eBay or something like that. So, and at the time I had about 600,000 points, the bastards. I should have cashed them in a week beforehand. So I lost 600,000 points. And I do have a pure HMV card now, but I only use it for personal use, you know, for when I want to pick up a couple of bits and pieces. So, and they don't look at that now, so hopefully. But yes, I kind of think they're looking at multiple bulk purchases going to the same address, registered to the same name, and I think they're thinking, what's this person up to? So, I mean, the email that I received from them saying, we are currently investigating your recent order. I don't know what order, so I'm trying to get some shit out of them. The little orders don't seem to be any problem. You know, the ones whereas there's anywhere between 1 and maybe 10. You know, the little orders like the Mission Impossible Fallen Kingdom, you know, the Fallout and the Meg, that kind of thing, because they're small group buys. Although they haven't said anything by email, you know, they haven't said we're cancelling these orders or what are you doing with these orders. If they do, it doesn't matter, because the smaller orders I can just pick up from the stores, so they're no problem. But it's when it's getting to these big orders, it's kind of like causing a bit of a havoc and causing a bit of a mess. So I really don't know what the fucking hell is going on with HMV at the moment. And it's getting me down. It's getting me down as well, because I've been running these group buys for 10 years? No, I don't think it's that long. For 5 years, really, with no problems. I've had a few mishaps with some stores, you know. They say, oh, no. I phone them up. I say, how many copies of this have you got? Oh, we got 25. Can I have 20 of them? Yeah, sure. We'll put them by for you. And then I travel 40 miles to the store. And then the store manager says, no, we're only allowed to sell you 2. That kind of thing really pissed me off. And that's why I jumped on the case of trying to do it online to get the orders rather than getting them from stores. But as I say, the smaller group buy orders that we've got up until Christmas, I can't see any reason why they can't be fulfilled. It's just these larger ones. And at the moment, the Pacific Rim one and the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom are the 2 largest ones. I haven't got anything of that size. And I think I might cap it at that for now until maybe we get some answers. Because, you know, I don't want to go and do a group buy order for a new title that's coming out, whereas like 100 people want it, and then send out invoices and all that, and people send me payments and then find out HMV have cancelled the shit. So yes, as I say, I've been doing it for 5 years. It's been a good 5 years, and I'll probably continue to carry on doing the smaller HMV group buys, but I think probably the larger ones I'm probably going to call it a day, because it's just becoming too stressful, and what with other things going on in my life as well, and the YouTube channel as well, which takes up a hell of a lot of time. It's just not having time to do absolutely everything. So far as watching movies, I've probably seen 1 movie in 6 weeks, 1 or 2 movies in 6 weeks, and I've got a stack of Blu-rays and 4Ks. I just haven't got time to watch, because, you know, sorting out these group buys and doing the YouTubing. So I need something, I need one less thing to do. I need one less thing to do, and I don't want to, you know, knock a nail in the head with the YouTube channel, because I really enjoy doing it. So I think it's going to be a case of having to like call the group buys and just keep them very low key, just keep them very small, and we'll see how we go from there. So yes, so you know everything I know now. So as I say, as soon as I hear anything back from HMV about Jurassic World, then we'll sort it out. I mean, I've got all the packaging, I've got the bubble wrap, I've got the mailers. I haven't printed the labels yet, but so I don't want to jump straight into it before they even send them to me, you know, in case I waste a lot of packaging. But yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a bit of a heads up. I mean, if it comes to the case where where I'm going to have to refund people for the Fallen Kingdoms, then it might have to be a possibility. But hopefully it won't come to that. And I want to get these out before Christmas, so we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep yabbing on at HMV, get them to take their thumbs out their arses and tell me exactly what the hell's going on, so I can get some kind of definitive answer. Yes, right. Well, that took up about 10 minutes of my lunch break, didn't it? But, all right. This, should we scratch off this scratch card and see what I've got? See what we get off this scratch card, because my day can't get any worse than it already is today. Let's have a go, shall we? Right, okay, so it's Snow Me the Money. Top prizes of 5,000, match 3 to win. Right, let's do this then. It's a Christmassy one. It's got a Christmas tree on it. Maybe it'll bring me some Christmas luck. Right, let's scratch it off. Then again, like I said, I don't usually win on £1 scratch cards. Okay, what have we got? I've got 2 200s, 2 100s, 2 20s, 1 10 and 2 1s. So that's a no. So let's do bonus game, which is the little present down there. And I've got to scratch it off to find a pound note, or a £5 note. And I can see no, it's a diamond. Okay, so that card is a bust. I thought so. I thought maybe that would happen because, like I say, I never really win on the pound scratch cards. I tend to win more on the £2 scratch cards. So is there anything else that I need to have a chat about? We've done the scratch card, we've done the group buys, cinema possibly. My dad had a bit of a funny turn the other day. Apparently he couldn't get out of bed. I was at work at the time, but my mum was saying that he was kind of like semi-paralysed. He couldn't move his legs, he couldn't get out of bed, and unfortunately he wet himself. So we had to get my brother round, and my dad was kind of like shivering. You know, he was shivering for a day. When he did get out, you know, he walked very slowly, but I don't know, because he is kind of active, because, you know, he goes and does a lot of shopping and things like that, but he does do a lot of sitting around. But he's not one of these people that gets ill at the simplest thing. You know, I can't remember the last time he had a cold, probably a couple of years ago, but he doesn't have any problems. I should touch a bit of wood if I've got a bit of wood up here. He doesn't have any medical issues, so to speak. So it kind of probably took him by surprise that this kind of thing happened, because he's always been quite healthy, really, you know, quite healthy. And yeah, I think maybe all this running around, because he takes my mum, you know, to the doctors and the hospital and all that, and stressing over stuff like that, I think it probably took its toll. You know, he's been rushing about and rushing about and rushing about, and it was probably his body saying, for fuck's sake, slow the hell down. And he's 73, and my mum's 78, so they are getting on. My mum's not in the brilliantest of health. She's had, you know, with her ear problems, she's had some of the ear cut off, you know, because of cancer and that kind of thing. But I am really thankful that they are still here, because, you know, there's going to come a day when I'm going to realise that they're gone. I mean, it happens to all of us, but sometimes it's hard to think. Sometimes it's hard thinking about this kind of thing. I don't want to get all emotional and all that kind of shit, but yeah, sometimes it makes you stop. Sometimes it makes you stop and think about where you are in your life and what's going on and stuff like that. Right, okay, so I think that's probably about it. I don't really have much more to say at the moment. I've got a long weekend off, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, so still going to do a bit of thinking. I've got to batch a couple of steelbooks up to send to some people. I don't know. I mean, it's Christmas is coming as well. Everything's getting busy. Yeah. Okay, right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little heart-to-heart chat. I'm starting to get a little bit emotional, so I think I better stop the actual video before I start bursting out into tears, because no one wants to see that. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. I will see you in a couple of days on the next video, and yeah.